Hello, happy Friday. Wanted to give you a glimpse into Friday night after work, after school, the only night of the week that there are not activities, sometimes too. So first thing, we're gonna treat ourselves to some coffee, little pour over. All right, coffee in hand. Next order of business, I've got 5 minutes until I may need to make popcorn. One of my children's absolutely favorite snacks for after school is popcorn. We've been keeping a couple chickens in this A-frame on the garden. For this week's been really mild weather-wise, like no rain, no real high temperatures. I have a little bit of shelter, but I've just been keeping this sheet on it for shade. The one part came off, so we're gonna tuck that back over. They've done a really nice job. I've run them down this side. They're on their way down this side. They're doing a really nice job cleaning everything up for me. This is what the other side they haven't gotten to looks like. So I do nip the plants off so that they're not completely in a jungle. So next phase is going to be bringing up some buckets of compost and then covering them with mulch. The last time my husband mowed, I had him just mound the grass clippings beside so we can put those beds to bed for the winter. I've been keeping a total of weighing everything that I'm getting out of this garden. I haven't started totaling yet. This was new garden space for this year. Kind of looking forward to seeing how much did we get from these tomato plants, our squash plants, and everything this year in this new space without tilling, with just using our chickens to kind of fertilize and scratch up the space, covering it with mulch, and then planting in it. I'm excited to see how it did this year and also how it does moving into the future. We've got our first round of sweet potatoes curing in here. So sweet potatoes are to cure at high heat and high humidity for 1 to 2 weeks. I've seen other people who just use the sweet potatoes after they harvest them, and they're fine to use. It's not like they're not fine to use, but what I've read and what I thought I understood is you don't get the sweetness of the sweet potato unless you cure them. I just laid the lid down. I laid an old towel down, did a layer of sweet potatoes, and then covered it. And you can see it's kind of steamy in there, just from condensation and the sun hitting it. So that's how we cure sweet potatoes. I also saw you could like put them in like a grocery bag. Just poke some holes in the grocery bag, put that in the sun. This method has worked for us. While we're waiting for the popcorn to pop, these are some of our sweet potatoes that my daughter and I actually harvested last night, working on that video. So these are going to need to get set up to cure as well. I just wasn't getting that done last night when we finished harvesting at probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Probably do that this weekend and get those started. I've got like 3 clear plastic containers, like storage containers. So we'll get those out and kind of get rounds of sweet potatoes going. We have more to harvest. All right, a bit of butter. We've got one that likes extra butter and one that likes extra salt. All right. Girls have snack in hand and are having some chill out time. Now I planted my cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower a while ago, and I'd started extra to share. I've given some away. I still some very, very sad looking. This is cabbage, I think, and wow, I have not watered these. Some broccoli. Yeah, okay. So we've got some very sad cauliflower. That's broccoli. No, sorry. We have very sad cabbage. This is cauliflower. And this is broccoli. So I didn't plant these because I didn't have enough space. Since I've been able to, like, some of our plants have finished out, our Roma's finished out, I cut those out. We've harvested some sweet potatoes. So I have a little bit of bed space that's opened up. I'm gonna water these with a little bit of water, with some rainwater that has a little bit of fertilizer in it. Give them maybe a little bit of a boost, and I'm gonna stick them in the ground. It's probably too late, and they're probably a little too beat up, but there's two options. I throw them in the compost pile, or I put them in the ground. So I'm going to put them in the ground and just see what happens. Okay, now I'm not sure that everybody's going to appreciate this the same as me. I can't get it. I'm going to try to capture this maybe when the light's a little lower. There's a really cool spider web, like right in between these plants right here. And I'm going to zoom in. Look at that spider. Isn't he cool? I looked him up. I forget what kind it said he was, or she, but he spent quite a bit of time in my garden eating bugs for me. Looks like he's eating one right now, or she. Alrighty, so I let these plants sit and soak up some of the water so the root balls were well watered. Now I'm going to get them into the ground. Like I said, if you look at the difference, there is one of the cabbage that I started that is in the ground. Here are the cabbage that I started that have been sitting in the pots. They got started at the same time. So they are very stunted. They're very sad choices. Throw them in the compost or throw them in the ground. I'm going to go with throwing them in the ground and just see what happens. Alright, so I just pulled one of the cauliflower out. I'm going to break off these outer leaves because I think they're done. And then right here, got a caterpillar that needs to become chicken food. Mixed up tomato, garlic, a little olive oil, some peppers, and red onion, salt and pepper, and that's what's going to top our pizza. And my husband's pizza is he's going to have some of our pickled peppers and some pepperoni. Change of plans. The dough I had is not going to work. I thought it was going to be good having been in the fridge. It's not. So I'm going to go to plan B, and that's just using, I have a bunch of starter. It's just pouring the starter on the hot pizza stone, put it in the oven, bake it for a little bit, pull it out, top it. It's not exactly what I had planned, but it still works.